everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
During their years-long relationship, Shiver learned she was pregnant by Moore. Pregnancy was complicated by Pompe disease, a genetic disorder that weakens muscle strength. Her doctors delivered the heartbreaking news.
Multiple doctors and experts told me that it wouldn't be right or healthy for me to keep the baby.
Did you want to?
Yeah.
So how did Sharon respond?
He said, you had to do what's right for your body.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ.
Experts.
Today we back with another lit video. Back in the confessional. Yes, we staying lit, big dog. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Now, we got Paige Shiver. She did an interview with ABC News. Now, this happened while I was actually on my cruise. She did an interview with ABC News, and she was the assistant who had an affair with the Michigan head coach, Sharon Moore, who lost his job because she claimed that he attacked her and things transpired within their relationship and stuff like this. But a lot of people feel divided in this whole situation. If you paid attention, so a lot of people asking, like, this question says, did the interviewer ask, did she know about the wife? Not a single tear was shed. The interviewer was never needed. ABC News is a joke. Anyways, what's for dinner? Embarrassing that this is news and it's so disrespectful to his wife. So a lot of people are upset that she's able to come on here and play the victim while she knowingly was sleeping with a married man who was he wasn't the coach. I think he was an interim coach. And then when he got the head coaching position, he upgraded her position in the organization to executive assistant. So he actually upgraded her position based on their affair. And that's when things escalated. So they had been doing this. And now she's crying crocodile tears after, everything's come out, and she feels embarrassed. But of course, black women they wasn't putting up with it. They was like, But see, or another thing is, I saw a lot of black women saying, y'all keep going mess with them. This is what y'all gonna be looking for when y'all gonna mess with them.
Did you love him?
Back then, I did, but obviously looking back at things and really reflecting on what happened, what was happening, that's not love at all.
Paige Shiver, now 32, says she was just an intern in 2022 when she and Sharon Moore, then an offensive coordinator and a married father, started a consensual, intimate relationship. She was asked to be Moore's executive assistant when he was promoted to head coach in 2024. Did you feel pressure?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Even the comments, you are not a victim. Girl, bye. He was married. That's why you don't date your boss. 28 years when it started. But she was 28 years old when the whole thing started, and she's acting like, she was victimized, or not victimized, but like she couldn't control herself as an adult. You hear me?
To have the relationship in order to have job security?
Yes, I did. I mean, he and other coaches had control over my career, especially him. I mean, he could fire me in a second.
Shivers.
So you saying that he manipulated you to do whatever you did because he had control over your career? ma'am, you didn't have to take the job, or you didn't even have to have intercourse with him. Like, that's not, nobody forced it.
As her attempts
You
to
knew what he was
end the
doing.
on-again, off-again relationship were often met with what she calls manipulation tactics, including threats of self-harm.
Every time I tried to pull away, he always had a story, always had a way to pull me in and making me feel that I couldn't leave him because he was so miserable without me.
During their years-long relationship, Shiver learned she was pregnant by Moore. Pregnancy was complicated by Pompe disease, a genetic disorder that weakens muscle strength. Her doctors delivered the heartbreaking news.
Multiple doctors and experts told me that it wouldn't be right or healthy for me to keep the baby.
Did you want to?
With a married man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So how did Sharon respond?
He said, you had to do what's right for your body.
On December 10th of last year, she decided
I mean, was it was he right or was he wrong? I don't know.
to report the truth about their affair to the university.
They said, you know, we're really sorry about everything that you went through, and we're here to protect you and to help you through all of this.
The university fired Moore after that conversation. Shiver says less than an hour later, he appeared at her apartment.
All of a sudden, I hear footsteps, and they're getting closer and louder, and I'm like, crap. And so I run to my door to try to lock it. He barges in, and he's standing like this close to me, and he said, you ruined my life. Why would you do this to me? And then I start backing up, and he starts following me.
Did you fear for your life?
Oh my gosh, yes. I
Did
mean,
he-
he's 6'4", and he comes in with his hood up, looking down at me, saying I ruined his life, crying, and it's like, and then starts coming at me, and I tell him to leave, that he's not supposed to be here. He's not listening to me. And then he starts grabbing, yes, butter knives.
You had no right to do what you did.
A judge sentenced Moore to 18 months probation for misdemeanor counts of trespassing and malicious use of a phone. A plea deal allowed for the dismissal of more serious charges, including home invasion. You think he should have gone to jail?
Yes. I think he should have gotten
Of course she gonna put him in jail.
more punishment for what he did.
In a statement, Sharon Moore's attorney tells us Sharon Moore has closed this chapter. Shiver claims some of her former colleagues, including those in leadership, were aware of the affair. Do you feel that the university had a moral obligation to come to you sooner?
Yes. He controlled everything that was going on in my life, and they didn't do anything about it.
In a statement, the University of Michigan said it acted promptly to terminate Moore and that it is committed to ensuring a professional and respectful workplace for all members of its community. Shiver says she's sharing her story now in the hopes of helping other women.
I just want
No, I think she's sharing her story now because she's lining up a lawsuit. And one thing about this whole situation is they once came to her, the school had once came to her before and asked her about this affair. And when they asked her about this affair, she denied it. So when she denied even having the affair, the school couldn't do nothing about it. So they dropped their investigation, the initial investigation. It wasn't until she came back and said this is happening.
She says that this was a relationship that lasted almost 4 years. She talks about it in painstaking detail and says it was an open secret, even as she describes it, encouraged at times by people in the department. But she claims ultimately, more than love, it was marked by manipulation, harassment.
Open secret. What is an open secret?
Harassment and exploitation.
Yes, you would have a criminal record because based on what's going to happen is once we clear here, we're going out of the county jail where you get photographed and booked. You'll have that opportunity once we get down to the jail. But right now, we have no way of getting you a lawyer right now.
I have a lawyer.
But once my supervisor comes back in, we can ask him, and we'll go from there. But most likely, you'll be able to get a call at the jail.
I have a lawyer. He'll come get me right now. This is ridiculous. So, are you serious? Get me fired and they'll get charged for assault. It's crazy. This is nuts. What she just do is driving home. How long will I have to be there? All night?
You'll see a judge, yes. So yes, you'll have to be there all night. Yep.
I'll see a judge.
In the morning.
Can I call a lawyer and get me out on bail?
Just based on the relationship that you guys had, it's considered domestic violence. So there's no bail, there's no bond on it. Just from previous incidents, right? So if someone's
Like what previous incidents?
I'm talking about the type of relationship that you guys had with each other. So domestic violence law implies to this just based on the relationship that you guys had, right? And based on that, when you get lodged on a domestic violence incident case, you don't have a bond or a bail. You have to see a judge in the morning.
This seems right on cue. Roll the clip.
You feel pressured to have the relationship in order to have job security?
Yes, I did. I mean, he and other coaches had control over my career.
This is Paige Shiver. She was having an affair with Sharon Moore, you know, from the Michigan football team, and she's sitting down now to do a tell-all. And she's saying she wants the university to be held responsible for what happened to her. Now, she didn't say she wants them to cut a check, but let's read between the lines. And if you look at the comment section, people are not having it. The comments are saying you are not the victim. His wife is the real victim, things like that. Now, let's be clear about what did and didn't happen. She said that she entered into a consensual relationship with Sharon Moore beginning around 2022 when she was an intern. At some point, she got pregnant when she was having this affair with Sharon Moore, who, by the way, was married and had multiple kids. But at some point, this woman that he was having an affair with, Paige, terminated the pregnancy due to a medical condition because doctors said it would not be right or healthy for her to keep the baby. And as the relationship progressed, she felt like there were times where she wanted to leave the relationship, but she was scared because she was his executive assistant and her job security was on the line. She felt like she was pressured to stay there. You know how that argument goes, but eventually she did break off the relationship, and that's when things took a turn because he showed up to her house and grabbed butter knives and threatened to harm himself, saying that she ruined his career because he got fired immediately after she went to the university and started expressing that she was uncomfortable with the relationship. The police got involved and he did go to court, but he took a plea deal to misdemeanors and got 18 months probation. The felonies on the case were dismissed. So now she's turning her sights on the university and hoping that they take accountability. What I think that means is eventually cutting a check. The university, they're definitely going to say it was consensual, as she has also stated. In fact, the university at one point conducted an investigation into the relationship, and she and Sharon Moore both denied it. She said that she denied it.
Told you. I told you. So you denied this before. So when we asked you plainly about it, you denied it because you knew it was wrong. No, nobody forced you to. You knew it was wrong. You're an adult. So as an adult, there are consequences to your own actions. And you have to take accountability for that.
Because she felt like the university was going to be on his side. But then later on, she came back and admitted that she was in the relationship and she was no longer comfortable. And Sharon Moore got fired immediately. So that's why this whole thing, I think, is an uphill battle. Because if she files a lawsuit, the university is going to say, well, after you lied and said you weren't in a relationship, what were we supposed to do? As soon as you said that you were in a relationship and you felt uncomfortable, pressured, duress, we fired Sharon Moore. She's going to have to conjure up some sort of sympathy with the jury. And I think she's going to have a hard time doing that. In my opinion, I think it's absolutely possible for a relationship to start out consensual and then you start feeling pressured or under duress to stay in the relationship. I completely understand that. And no, he never should have showed up to her house and threatened to harm himself and pick up the butter knives after she broke off the relationship. But the specific argument about whether the university could have and should have done more, I think that's going to be a harder thing to convince people of. And then also, if the jury does agree, okay, maybe the university should have done more, are they going to agree to cut you a check for what happened to you? But I also think she has enough of an argument for the lawsuit to at least make it to court if she decides to file a lawsuit, and you never know what may happen during settlement negotiations.
Okay. Tough day. We got you though.
I wanted me here, man. I worked so hard.
I know. Because you made those threats. We gotta take you to a professional.
We have some criminal charges for unlawful entry and an assault.
Assault?
I know. We went to condo after she called us.
I didn't assault anybody.
Hang on.
She's trying to end my life, man.
Hang on. I get it, man. It's stressful. I can't put myself in your face. Just real
She's trying to
clear.
end my life right now.
We got a call from that you were at the house and you weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah, I went there. I got fired today. And I know exactly what happened. So I got fired because of a relationship with her, unfortunately, outside of my marriage. That happened, and I was done with it. I wanted to let her go, but I couldn't because she told me she would sue me. So I did not fire her, and she was my assistant. So
See, that's something that she didn't say. She was like, hey, if you fire me, I'm gonna sue you. And he probably was like, I'll fire you. And then, so somebody's lying. Somebody's saying, she's saying he pressured her. And she's saying, he's saying she pressured him. She's saying he pressured her to stay. Somebody's lying. But we gonna eventually, if it comes out, the truth will come out. We don't know how. Maybe there's some text messages somewhere. Maybe there's an email. Maybe there's a voice recording. But if she said that, and if she goes to the school for money, I can almost believe her as a 30-year-old woman, 31, 32-year-old woman was saying, hey, if you fire me, I'll just go to the school. And he's like, this is over. She went to the school. Then he showed up to her house. I mean, this is an obvious toxic relationship. We don't know what she was capable of outside of, this relationship. Like, we don't know how crazy she is. I've never seen her personality, so I don't know. She could be a crazy woman with two heads, horns, and hair growing down the back of her neck. Could be.
this goes on. This happened a while ago. It's done. There's an investigation about a whole bunch of other stuff, about other women, other people, which never happened. I get pulled in the ward's office. I get fired. I go to her place, to her house. I did not touch her. I did not put a hand on her. I did not assault her and do anything to harm her whatsoever. I got mad and then I yelled, but I did not touch her in any way, shape, or form.
How did you get into the house?
The door was open, and she says, well, you're not supposed to be here. I said, what? You're not supposed to be here. I said, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Are you trying to ruin my life? And then she says, you have to leave. Get away. I'm calling the cops.
She said that while you were in the kitchen, you removed two, butter knives.
I left the butter knives. I grabbed this, and I left. And that's when I went into my car.
So you only took the butter knives out? Was there any other type of knife
No,
you pulled out?
That's it.
Did you say anything along the lines of, my blood is on your hands, or my blood is your blood? Or
No, I did not tell her that, no.
Okay. And then did you pick up any other knives that were in the kitchen?
No.
Okay. Which knife did you
The butter knife.
Okay. So just a butter knife. And then...
Well, I had the scissors. The scissors were in my car.
Yeah.
So that's what I had, the scissors. But I did not hold anything to her, or touch her, or anything like that. I drove and I was going to harm myself. I ruined my life, man.
Actually, he's well at fault in this situation. His ass is grass. when you doing this type of stuff, you know, you're cheating, you know, you're cheating on your wife, you the coach, you sleeping with the assistant, you know it's wrong, you know right from wrong, you know, you gotta face the consequences, young man. You know what's right from wrong. Not even young man, old man, you know? But so we can't just blame her for everything. So, but she gotta come to agreement with her own self. He also does. He keeps blaming her. She's trying to ruin me. She's trying to ruin me. Well, sir, the day you stepped out of your marriage, you tarnished yourself, because whenever it comes out, in which it did, you ruined that the day you decided to step outside of your marriage with the intern, with your executive assistant.
I'm always the women trying to do this, man. Like
I've been doing this for 15 years.
I know you get it, man.
I can relate to you. I can't relate to you in the magnitude of this, but
I tried to get rid of her. She was going to sue me if I let her go.
The only thing I want to tell you, I'm a dad of 2 little girls. You have to see them grow up, okay? That's the only thing that matters. Doesn't matter about your job, doesn't matter about career. I get this is a big deal, but like, you have to be there for your kids, right?
My wife put my girls on the phone, and I couldn't do anything after that.
Paige Shiver, now 32, says she was just an intern in 2022.
Okay, she's 32. 2022 is 4 years ago. So she was 28. Okay, so she was grown.
She and Sharon Moore, then an offensive coordinator and a married father, started a consensual, intimate relationship.
Okay, so a grown woman decided to get into a consensual relationship with a grown man who she knew was married and had kids and who worked where she worked.
She was asked to be Moore's executive assistant when he was promoted to head coach in 2024.
Okay, I see you seeing the fruits of your labor, girl. Now, you definitely are trash for sleeping with a married man, knowing he had a wife and kids, but at least you got something to show for it. Come through, promotion.
Shiver says her attempts to end the on-again, off-again relationship were often met with what she calls manipulation tactics, including threats of self-harm.
Okay, so you chose to sleep with a married man, accept a promotion from him, likely because you were sleeping with him, and then when you try to break things off, he's manipulating you? Girl, this is crazy. I could have never called this.
Every time I tried to pull away, he always had a story, always had a way to pull me in and making me feel that I couldn't leave him because he was so miserable without me.
During their years-long relationship, Shiver learned she was pregnant by Moore.
Whoa. You chose to sleep with a married man who worked where you worked, a married man you knew had a wife and kids, and then you got pregnant? Oh my God. Why would he do this to you?
Shiver says she's sharing her story now in the hopes of helping other women.
Thankfully, because I just know she has a lesson about making sure you don't sleep with another woman's man. Don't try to take nothing that is not yours.
I just want, other women that are going through this to know that this doesn't need to happen. It doesn't need to go this far.
I know you lying.
I know you fucking lying. Listen, other women, it don't need to go this far yet. Yeah. How about, listen, don't sleep with your boss. If he's married, definitely don't sleep with your boss. How about don't get pregnant by your boss? How about not try to ruin your boss's career? How about, and Honey Mama says, yes, he gave consequences, but not made up lies. I understand when he says she's trying to ruin me if he's referring to the assault of her with butter knives. I agree. I wasn't going to just put it out there, but I agree. Like, I don't think it's the self-harm, especially because after that video, that video had been out that he was gonna hurt himself, and she probably knew this, that he was like gonna hurt himself, and so she used that in the interview, like, oh, he's always trying to self-harm himself. So that we don't know if he really does that, but when they put the when you place that with the video that's out there, it's like maybe it's true that he's always trying to self-harm himself. Maybe he got a few screws loose, and but like I said, I've seen a lot of manipulation tactics, and I can't just exclude all the manipulation tactics from women, because a lot of men say a lot of BS to keep. Man, I ain't gonna lie. Nah. I don't know. I don't believe I've ever said anything crazy like I was gonna harm myself, or I've only said I would change to keep a woman. I've only said I would do better, and I do. But one thing I do know is it don't matter what you do to a woman. You could cheat on them, you can do whatever, and you can sleep with a friend and they'll take you back. And then you can do whatever you want and they'll take you back. Right? Once they do that, they will continue to argue that sentiment. They won't heal from that. They won't forgive you. So no matter what you go through in your relationship, so you can do anything and everything. Have kids, start getting married, be together for 10 years. You can do whatever. But once y'all get into an argument, you slept with my friend. Like, but here you are, after all that, you still stayed. So if you're going to stay, you got to get over it. If you stay with a man after all this, you have to get over it. So I think, the wife is the only person who can complain about it, but she can only complain for so long. And he got to change if he going to continue to do it. But for, men, we going to say a lot of stuff to, try to fix the relationships and stuff like that. But like I said, women going to always take you back. They're going to always do it. And not always take you back, but they're going to take you back 1 or 2 times. But then they never going to get over it. So, ever. And then they're going to keep blaming you as if it's still happening. Like, okay. So my thing is, whatever it is, just keep cheating on them. Fuck it. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as quick as 1 week.